Alright, Sorrow shifts southeast once and casts Scorching Burst. This will hit her too.
Wait, what?
She's gonna cast Scorching Burst. Does it hit her
That's
too?
the burst one, no? No, if he sets it up there.
Oh yeah, that's true. She can aim it on him. She doesn't have to hit herself. No, even better. Centered on the goblin. So it'll be left to right and then down.
Roger.
Ugh. That's 14, 15, and 17 versus reflex for 8 damage.
And all three hit. All three goblinoids are wounded, and one of the hobgoblin former archers is bloodied.
You guys should just retreat. Your leader's retreating. There's no point in sticking around.
The bloodlusted goblin continues his advance, but misses once again. The wounded hobgoblin archer looks to his buddy and says, "She's right. If Krand isn't here to see this, what's the point? I'd rather have my life." And he marches on.
You should follow your buddy. I wouldn't want to see her when she's angry.
The other hobgoblin sees his buddy leave, then grabs hold of the windmilling goblin and tries to drag him away, but fails, as the goblin is struggling. Round 30, Sorrow, at 5 hit points, is somehow still in this battle.
Sorrow shifts back. Maybe that way, actually. And, Scorching Burst. Centered on Goblin Warrior. So again, first on the Hobgoblin Archer, then on the Goblin Warrior. First attack is 15 versus reflex, second is 16 for 11 damage.
Both of them are scorched once more. The Goblin Warrior spins around and starts windmilling on the archer,
Oh man, I'd really run now if I were you.
and chops into his chest with a devastating attack that leaves the Hobgoblin Archer reeling.
Should've listened.
Ah, you double-crossing fiend! He tries to stab at the Goblin Warrior, and drives his sword through the Goblin's gut. The Goblin stops windmilling and collapses. Round 30, Sorrow.
Alright, cool. Sorrow goes to stand behind the barkeep and then shoots a ray of frost at the Hobgoblin Archer. That's 25 versus fortitude, 9 damage.
Sorrow turns the Hobgoblin into a popsicle, which remains standing for a moment before it tips over, collapses, and shatters into pieces. Round 32, Sorrow. No more living combatants around her.
Alright, she takes a quick look at the barkeep. She is manacled.
She is, yes.
Sorrow says to the barkeep, "I'm sorry, I can't get you out of here, but there's still a chance I can reach my companions before they've gone far. I run faster than they do. We'll be back very soon to rescue you. Don't worry."
You should really just use me as leverage. They don't know you're here to save me. And they certainly want me alive.
"So I threaten to kill you, otherwise..." What? Let her go or I'll kill her? They'll lose you either way, it won't work.
So, I guess the manacles can't be broken? Or anything. Like, the barkeep can't actually be brought in any way.
She knows that Krand holds the keys.
Right, but... like, those things can't be broken.
Not easily. Certainly not by Sorrow. Unless you want to risk, like, her shooting rays of frost and fire in your face.
Right, okay. Well, never mind then. Krand's got the keys. He went up that way. She points in the direction.
Sorrow says, I think I've been really lucky this far. I'm not sure I could take him on, especially if I corner him. I'm about ready to drop myself. The sooner I get after my allies, the sooner we can be back here. They can't have gotten far. Okay, I don't know what Sorrow would say. Do you think she would charge in there and attack him? She might.
She actually might.
Actually, alright, you know what? I should do this the way John would do this. Sorrow says, alright, I'll see what he's got. And she... I don't know. Heads up the stairs. Opens the door. If it's still open.
That door is open, yes.
Okay.
Still in rounds.
Actually, that's probably her move for that round.
Alright, round 33. Sorrow remains with 5 hit points. Sorrow's up.
Alright. She walks through to the corridor.
She notices 2 doors have closed, Chief Krand's and this one.
Alright. She walks to the next door. And... she gets ready to open it and fire a ray of frost at what she believes will probably be Krand on her next
Isn't
turn.
that just one move action?
Actually, yeah, okay. Absolutely. She will use a minor action to open the door.
She tries to open the door, and seems like it's being held shut as it opens a little, but then immediately closes. And you hear, "Who's there?"
Sorrow puts on her best goblin voice. I guess this will be a bluff check. And says, "It's me, boss. I got the tiefling."
Roll the bluff.
It's a 17.
You hear the sound of someone getting to his feet, and Krand says, "Oh, good, good." He opens the door. Ends round 33, round 34. Sorrow still at 5 hit points.
Is he still armed?
His spear is lying on
have
the
a
floor.
weapon out? Okay, so I can cast a spell at him, no penalty.
Correct.
Awesome. Sorrow point blank casts Ray of Frost on him. Oh, 12 versus Fortitude.
That's a miss.
So she spits in his face, but she retreats a few spaces. It doesn't really matter, just one.
Krand's confident face turns into a mask of terror as he sees Sorrow, and he slams the door shut, and you can hear him sinking back to the ground as he whimpers, "Oh, by the gods, please go away."
Sorrow says, "Give me the keys for the slave, or I'll burn that door down around you."
Okay, just, wait here. Round 35, Sorrow.
Alright, Sorrow will back up a bit, and she will ready a Ray of Frost, in case he comes out the door looking armed and hostile.
Sorrow hears him moving, hears stone moving. Round 36, Sorrow is up.
Sorrow goes back to the door and tries to open it.
Sorrow opens the door. She does not see Krand.
She steps inside. Actually, does she see his spear on the floor?
Yes.
Alright, she steps inside. He doesn't appear to be in the room. She investigates further.
And indeed, she sees him retreating into a secret passage. Oh gods, no!
She yells out, "Stop, or you die!" I think she used 2 move actions, though, so she can't shoot him.
That's right. Krand reaches under his scale mail at his chest, pulls out a set of keys, tears them off his neck, tosses them at the floor, says, "There!" and then closes the secret door. Round 37, Sorrow.
Alright, Sorrow goes over, picks up the keys, and then heads back towards the prisoner.
Round 38, Sorrow.
Sorrow heads on over, 2 move actions, gets to the prisoner.
Sees that Krand is up on the balcony, trying to slink away. No, no! He runs back into the secret passage.
Really not the brightest. He knew she'd be there.
Round 39, Sorrow.
Sorrow tries using various keys on the manacles to unlock the barkeep.
Does the barkeep know which key?
She does not. Or at least, I mean, they all kind of look the same. Roll a d10. Doesn't work.
It's a minor action for each one. I'm gonna have to roll a d9 and then a d8.
No, I think it'll be a standard. It seems like something that would take more than 3 seconds to do.
Oh.
I think I saw Krand go through the hallway, by the way.
You do hear running to the north. East-ish. Round 40, Sorrow. Roll a 1d9. Actually,
It's a 3.
I don't even know what a d9 is, so Sorrow tries another key to no avail. You hear running, retreating to the northwest. Round 41, Sorrow. D8.
That's a 5.
Still not the right one. Round 42, Sorrow. D7.
That's a 7.
And the manacles come undone.
You are amazing, lady.
I know, she says. And then let's get out of here. And she walks on over, expecting the barkeep to keep up. She also says, "What's your name, by the way?"
Salvana. What's yours?
I'm Sorrow.
And to the west you see Krand running away. He shoots a glance down the corridor, sees you. Oh no! Round 43, Sorrow. She can still see Krand and he is 11 squares away.
Instead, she heads up the corridor and looks for the papers and stuff that, what's his name dropped? That guy, the unimportant one.
Wrecked. I think
Yes,
over here. So move minor to pick them up.
She's got them, and then she advances menacingly towards Krand.
Seeing her advance, Krand moans again, starts heading back north. Round 44, Sorrow.
Sorrow waits for the barkeep to catch up. Alright. That's 6.
Sorrow catches Krand back on the balcony, looks like he's moving back into his lair.
So that's one of her moves. She waits for the barkeep to catch up, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Head south towards the exit.
Do you have any plans on pursuing Krand right now? Or taking a shot at him?
No. I think Sorrow's pretty keen on triumphantly finding the rest of the party and telling them that she single-handedly succeeded after they abandoned her.
Alright, so we can end combat rounds as Krand retreats back into the Chamber of Eyes, moaning, and Sorrow successfully exits the area with Salvana. But for the record, I'm pretty sure John's objective was not to rescue the barkeep, but to kill the slavers. I'm pretty sure John would have gone for Krand, but too late now. That's how we're gonna end the session.
You can go back for her later. Him later.
I think John would have said, but I want to do it now.
Well, you should have told me this before. It's difficult for me to play someone who has zero self-preservation.
What do you mean? You just said how to play them.
It's pretty amazing.
So that was a surprising turn of events, to say the least. What's funny is that this entire thing, 44 rounds, this took maybe, factoring in the time before that, maybe 3 minutes. You can probably still catch up to Rendell. Hey, thanks, Rendell. Yeah, they're all dead.
Well, you know what? I think this should be Sorrow's plan. She runs after the other people because she's faster than both the dwarf and Coltane. So they've only got, they're not that far ahead of her.
Wintier would probably be pretty far ahead. I doubt Wintier would have waited for Rekt. Right, Doug?
Wait, sorry, what?
Would Wintier have waited for Rekt?
Well, he did see him right behind him.
Winter would have slowed down once he realized no one was chasing him. Especially probably because, I don't know if you know the way or anything. Sort of paused and waited to hear what sounds would come. Yeah, he would have waited.
Yeah, that's a good point. You guys can't just flee down the corridors because you gotta remember your way back. And how do you find your way back?
We go to YouTube.
No, they followed the markings, right?
What markings?
Well, I think Winter, being a ranger, would know how to get back once he'd gone somewhere.
This is underground, though. This is in the wilderness. Does he have dungeoneering?
He has 8 in dungeoneering. It's a special. It's 2 below his nature and perception.
You realize I'm trying to argue a point for you to not have just run back to...
No, I'm saying, though, characteristically, though, I am saying that, his ranger, he wouldn't just flee wildly. He would have slowed down. And even, just tried to be aware of what would be going on behind him.
So is Sorrow's plan to get the others go back and kill Krand?
Yeah, that's what she's gonna say. She wants to... I think if John were here now and he was like, "Ah, Nick, you idiot, you didn't attack Krand," she would run to catch up with them and then bring them back to this entrance. It's the only way in or out of his hideout, and they'd rest there for 5 minutes and then go in there and try to take him out.
I'm inclined to agree with you.
So she wouldn't... This way he wouldn't have a chance to escape, because he seems like he's trying to escape, but if she blocks the exit, he's just gonna, I don't know, whine in circles or something. Plus... Sorry, Doug. Plus, she seems to remember seeing a chest. And I know she's not a loot
Yep.
maniac, but I'm pretty sure John wouldn't want to give that up.
And I think it is fair to say that they would group up out, before they'd gotten too far.
Well, I mean, consider it, Rekt was only a few steps behind Wintier, a few seconds behind him, and Coltane was maybe, a few rounds after that, max 10, 20 seconds behind them. They would still hear him running after them.
Yeah, and, being an elven ranger, I'm sure Wintier would have been able to discern that it was Coltane's steps and not a hobgoblin or anything.
Yeah, probably. You have spent an extensive amount of time traveling with Coltane now, so you ought to know what he sounds like.
And on more than one occasion, he's heard him fleeing in retreat.
Exactly, you know the sound of Coltane the Questionable hightailing it out of there.
Singing as he runs.
Tra-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la.
I was thinking more Brave, so called.
Oh, right. Coltane's probably thinking, that stupid tiefling died for me. I wouldn't have done that. It's gonna be embarrassing for them.
And now Salvana has an even more poor opinion of Coltane and a very high opinion of Sorrow.
Yep. So yeah, I think that's the plan. Reach the party, come back, rest, and I don't know, maybe sweep through with the goal of reaching that room where there might have been the chest. Go do some looting or something. So does that sound like a reasonable plan for our next... That's our plan.
But just give up and go home? Sounds good.
I think John should be really happy when he finds out what happened, though.
I think he will, yes.
Sorrow's a boss. She did take care of things. He was totally right.
She somehow managed to avoid, like, I think 15 attacks in a row or something ridiculous. I don't know.
I was probably only like 3 or 4.
There was 4 from the goblin, and maybe another 1 or 2 from the... Maybe just 1 from a hobgoblin.
Yeah, because one of them hit her, it just didn't do enough damage to take her out.
Yeah. Also, I'd like to say, kudos to the bartender for convincing them to fight amongst themselves.